I've had enough of this shit. These condescending white libtards make me sick with their self-righteous bullshit. They believe they'll solve the world's problems better than those actually affected by them. They advocate affirmative action in colleges, which implies that niggity jiggities are too stupid to qualify without it, so they allow them to get in with lower GPAs. And you know, while it's been proven that niggity jiggities who've gone to law school and other programs under affirmative action are just as, or even more successful than those who've achieved it on merit, doesn't mean it's right to bump someone off who has the grades for a racial quota. It ultimately stagnates their ability and the ambition to create their own enterprises and stop relying on the mainstream system. This should have always been an independent economy to fall back on, especially when your unemployment rate is always 50% higher than the majority. But you see, these Starbucks sipping do-gooder whiteys going to third world countries too. They pretend to fight for the indigenous people, the niggity jiggities, the beaners, the gloids, and all these other people. But the real intention is to keep them dependent and servile. See, these good whitey who stands up, they only do this because they feel that the Negroes aren't intelligent nor brave enough to take on such a task by themselves. They do this to feel better about themselves for helping these noble savages. They fund a few foreign countries with food, you know, and feed, fertilizer and shit. These charities' real intentions is to keep them in debt and at the mercy of world powers who give them foreign aid, while they completely ignore the imperialism they've practiced in North America and Europe. They benefit from the actions committed by dictators they've placed in office and allow their resources to be exploited only by Western companies, while simultaneously they'll yell, "Save the cheese," and we gotta save the fucking whales and all this garbage. But the real reason is they want to keep these countries from exploiting their own resources to create an industrial base that doesn't need the West to support it. This is also why they protect backwards people who live counterproductive lives around the world. As long as those people stay in those areas where there are natural resources and they're protected by international organizations, these countries will have a difficult time exploiting these deposits that the West doesn't yet have access to. This is essentially how China, Japan, and Germany started to rebuild their economies after they got taken down. See, they exploited their own resources to build a strong industrial and financial base. And after doing that, they started expanding their export programs so they can get their fucking goods all over the world to compete with America. And see, this is a real big reason why they're getting on China and India right now for environmental issues while ignoring their own. These libtard whiteys don't want the West to stop exploiting countries, so they send a few dollars to certain charities that behind the actions of their governments. And a lot of these pasty douchebags support companies like Monsanto, the IMF, World Bank, and a lot of these other companies like one of the biggest scumbag organizations, the Catholic Church, and other Jesusist ideologies. These missionaries that go around indoctrinating children and villages and shit so they can get a foothold, and the companies come right behind them and then stick them in the ass. It's all a part of a larger scheme of controlling the resources and economic development of developing nations. Most of these fucking whiteys are closet racists, especially the Scandinavians. So you see, they adopt niggity jiggity babies, beaner babies, and glory babies, give them European names, and indoctrinate them with false self-hatred inducing ideologies like Christianity. Helping third worlders makes liberal whites feel superior, and this is the main reason they do it. If white liberals actually gave a shit about any of these guys, they wouldn't support companies that make billions exploiting these countries, or support and sabotage coups, assassinations of progressive leaders like Martin Delaney, Garvey, Sankara, Aristide, and Nkrumah, Abiodun. The list goes on. They love to see a non-white child crawl around in filth. These white people coming around feeding feels a superiority complex. You fuckers need to wake the fuck up. You need to understand this. Haiti's a perfect example. We ignore the fact that America supported France instead of Toussaint, or how America invaded Haiti, supported the TheEvilOyos. Also, Papa and Baby Doc were supported by that piece of shit bitch Mother Teresa. She was made into a martyr when all she did was house the impoverished children in these little shitty camps and then reap the funds to lie about the atrocities committed against the people while spreading bullshit, filth, known as Christianity. These motherfuckers don't give a goddamn about anybody that they're claiming to help. They're running around here, jamming you in the ass, and filling your heads with propaganda, edited footage of these people getting shot and shit. They'll show like random people, and they always make them look extremely stupid. And then they come right behind and say, but blah 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 is here to help, and da 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 da. You go check out the asshole that's there to help, you see who's he's supported by. It's somebody in the West, somebody like BP, somebody like Shell, or the other companies. And the liberal whites are always there to act like they're fucking ready to stop this problem, when in reality they're not. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about saving the trees or any of that gay shit. They just want to keep the status quo. That's all they want to do. Wake the fuck up.